Hi, it's me again, and in this video, our activity is to spot the similarity of the two given sequences here. And to help us, we have to find the rule. Are you ready? Let's get started. Okay, so let's start with the first sequence, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very easy, right? What do you think is the rule? Okay, the rule is by adding 1. Correct. How about the second sequence? We have here 2, 9, 16, 23, and 30. What is the rule or the pattern? That is adding not 1. It is adding 7. Correct. Okay, so now can you tell me the similarity of these two sequences? Okay, they have the same rule, which is by adding. So to get the next term, we add a certain number. So that's the similarity of the two sequences. And when you have this kind of sequence wherein you're going to add a certain number, how do you call that sequence? Let's talk about it in this new Learn video. Hello everyone and welcome to my class. This is our 4th episode for the sequence topic. And if you have not watched our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd episode, you can see it here, or you can see the description for the links. It's better to watch the previous video so that you will not be left behind or you will not be confused of some terminologies I'm using while discussing this topic. Okay? So now let's go back to our task in this video, and that is to identify or to know how to call a certain sequence having the rule of adding a certain number to get the next term. Okay, so actually these sequences are called arithmetic sequence. No? Why arithmetic sequence? Because to get the next term of these sequences, we have to add a certain number. For you to see, how are we going to get 2 from 1? Simply, the rule is adding 1. So 1 plus 1, that is 2. And 2 plus 1, that is 3. And 3 plus 1, that is 4. And 4 plus 1 is equals to 5. And as you can see, the number that we add in the first term, that we add in the second term, and so on and so forth, is just the same. It's 1. And the 1 here, in an arithmetic sequence, we call it common difference. And the variable that we're going to use for common difference is D. D for difference. Okay? So again, arithmetic sequence is a sequence that you have to add a certain number called common difference to get the next term. Okay? And In our second example, we have the rule adding 7. So our common difference is 7 because that is the number that we add to get the next term. So how are we going to get 70i? Now, what's the technique in getting or identifying the common difference? So all you need to do is to get two consecutive terms from an arithmetic sequence and then you subtract. Okay? So since this is our chosen two consecutive terms, 9 now will be our first term and then 16 will be our second term. And to get the common difference, 16 minus 9. So the second term will be the first one to be written, then minus the first term, that is 9 from the two consecutive that we chose. Okay? So 16 minus 9 is equals to 7. And if you also try to check whether it's really 7, you can also get another two consecutive terms. Okay, so in this instance, we are going to get 23 and 30. So again, from these two consecutive terms, we will now have our first term and then our second term. So our second term first minus 23. It's always like that. So 30 minus 23, that is also 7. Okay, if you're still doubtful, you can also try 2 and 9. So we have 9 minus 2, that is still 7. So that's our common difference. Now let's have another example. Let's see if you still can identify whether this sequence is an arithmetic sequence. So I have here 1, 3, 9, 27, 81. Do you think this is arithmetic sequence? 1, 3, 9, 27, and 81. Is this an arithmetic sequence? Huh? Okay, correct. This is not an arithmetic sequence. Why? Because the rule here is by multiplying. Multiplying 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 times 3 is 81. And as we have said a while ago, that arithmetic sequence is a sequence wherein you're going to add a certain number called common difference to get the next term. Okay? So now let's have another example. 20, 18, 16, 14, and 12. Is it an arithmetic sequence? What have you observed to the numbers? It started with bigger number and then becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. So the sequence is in decreasing order, right? But is this still an arithmetic sequence? What do you think is the rule? Okay, so our rule here is by subtracting 2. So 20 minus 2 is 18. 18 minus 2 is 16. 16 minus 2 is 14. 14 minus 2 is 12. And since it is subtracting, do you think it is arithmetic or not? Still, this is an arithmetic sequence. Why? Remember that for a positive to become lesser, or for a number to become lesser, you need to add a negative number, right? So 20 plus negative 2, since 20 is positive and negative 2 is negative, is negative, then you're going to subtract them. So 20 minus 2, that is 18. And since 20 has the higher absolute value, then 18 will be positive. You need to review your integer. Also, to get the common difference, you need to select two consecutive terms, and then the second term will become the minuend minus the subtrahend. As you can see, our minuend is lesser than our subtrahend, then that means we will have a negative answer, and then it is 2. So our common difference here is negative. So from this example, we can tell that our common difference is not only a positive number, but it can also be a negative number. But if your common difference is negative, you will see a decreasing, okay? Decreasing sequence, okay? Okay, and you can tell that, oh, it's subtraction, but actually it's also addition, adding negative numbers. So do you have any questions? None? Is everything clear? So it's time for you to have a self-check your favorite portion of this video. So I have here 3 sequences, and all you need to do is to identify whether that is arithmetic sequence or not. If that is arithmetic sequence, then give me the common difference. All you need to do is to write D for common difference equals then the value of the common difference. And then if it is not, just write not arithmetic sequence. Okay? So for number 1, we have 10, 3, negative 4, and negative 11. Number 2, 100, 200, 300. Number 3, we have 200, 150, and 25. Okay, so I hope you learned something in this video, and have a nice day. Mwah.